Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? Of course, you know who I be. Good Dr. Mike TV. Back again after a long ass time, but back again, once again, with what already is poised to be an instant classic in the making. If this is by far your first time to the Dr. Mike TV experience, by all means, make sure you subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good ass content. All my good stuff should be listed in the links in the description area below. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I put this thing on for 8 o'clock, and I had to change it because Doc was still out when 8 o'clock hit. Changed it to 9 o'clock, and it's like 9:07. So if nobody shows up, I am perfectly cool with that. If I have to come up with questions that I believe the audience will ask, I will ask myself those questions and answer those questions myself. But again, appreciate y'all for locking in. I know the good doc has been incognito, or how can I say this? I've been going. I've been out the game for some time now. I want to say a good couple of weeks or so. Good Doc's been missing in action. No videos, no lives, no nothing. There is a logical and legitimate explanation for that. I don't necessarily want to get into the details, but if somebody asks, yo, Doc, why you been going so long? I guess I'll have to answer it because I did say that you guys could ask me anything. But if the question gets asked, I will answer. And you guys will understand what a good doc has to lay low for so many weeks, or the reason why I pulled back from my YouTube content, right? Appreciate y'all for locking in. For those of you who are coming into the building, appreciate you, man. It's been a minute. We can have this conversation again. I just wanted an open mic night. I didn't want to follow a topic of sorts. I didn't want to have a discussion about a particular topic. I think there's a lot of things popping off in Davao. You know, the wife has been kind of keeping me up to date on a couple of things, you know. For those that really care about Philippine politics, I believe that the Dutertes and the Marcoses are no longer on the same page. Political wise, I think they've kind of gone their, separate ways to an extent on the way that they're choosing to go about, the needs of the people in the Philippines. That seems like a good topic of conversation that we could tread lightly on in some videos to come. My wife just told me recently that the son of President Duterte has declared war on drugs in Davao City. So there's a lot of shit popping off that the good doc has to kind of just, filter through and see what's really popping before I actually put out a video for us to have a conversation on. But yeah, man, there's a lot of things that's going on in the Philippines as we speak, and I do want to try to get back into the groove of things. But for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Q&A portion, I'm just here to answer questions. I'm just here to have a little bit of fun, and hopefully we can get some enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? Something to that effect. All right. So shout out to my man John Bryan, who was here earlier, my friend. Appreciate you for coming in a little bit early on while the good doc was still out and about in these streets. You asked Dr. Mike, what's your wife's favorite restaurant out of all the North Carolina staples? That's a great question. I can't really narrow it down to a particular restaurant of sorts, but if we're talking about things that are purely a North Carolina staple, I think that she's really gravitated towards the barbecue here in North Carolina, like that pork barbecue with the vinegar taste to it. She kind of likes that shit. She thinks it's pretty good. I think she's really gravitated towards that. But there's a couple of Filipino restaurants that we kind of like here. That's kind of what we've been going to. And if I had to like really go out on a limb and say things that were her favorite, there's a local Filipino restaurant that we get some food from every now and again that she kind of seems to favor over everything. But I think that's more or less because of her nostalgia for missing the country and things like that. So she kind of gravitated towards that little restaurant. But there's really no limits on the things that the wife likes to eat. As far as things that are American by nature that she's kind of gravitated to, I can't say there's very much. With all due respect, let's be real. In comparison to like foods that we would get in the Philippines and those same items that we get here in the United States, it's just not the same. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's just not the same. And I'm going to give you one of the basic examples of, things that we've had here in the United States that we had in the Philippines, and the taste is completely different. Outside of KFC, which is our favorite restaurant in the Philippines to get chicken. That's way better than the KFC in the United States. There's the roasted chicken, right? You guys know the roasted chicken that you can get from Walmart, or the roasted chicken you can get from Food Lion. If you're in the Philippines and you've ever been to any not even provincial area, but if you ever been on these streets, right? You have the Filipinos that be, putting the chicken on the spits and shit, and they got the lemongrass stuffed inside of the the chicken and shit. The taste and the flavor and the variety that you get from food in the Philippines, and from that perspective, is far better than kind of the shit that we got here in the United States. So, as far as foods that she's gravitated to in the United States, it ain't a lot, to be honest. I mean, it really doesn't, compare, or the same shit ain't really what it is, like it is in the Philippines for like somebody like us, right? Some people may say American food is far better, all right? But when you got a drumette that's this big, size of your head and shit, you kind of got to understand, yo, this don't look like it's real. And then we starting to get into that conversation. But that's another conversation for another day, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, if she had to choose one North Carolina staple that she's kind of gravitated to, I would say it would be the pork barbecue, the barbecue sandwiches and shit like that. I think she really likes that. But outside of that, can't really say there's much that she really, really loves. She'll eat a burger. She'll eat a chicken sandwich. She'll eat the shit if she's hungry. But most times, man, she really ain't feeling that shit like that. All right. Yes, it is the evening here, my friend. I am still in the United States of America. No Philippine journey yet. But we got some things cooking. I promise you that. I'm just going to keep that to myself, but we do got some things cooking. But yeah, it is the evening time here. Lamont, what's going with your player, man? Appreciate you locking in. For those of you who've been rocking with the Good Doc for a long ass time, you do not understand what it means to me to see y'all pop up and say what's up. Especially when I've been going for as long as I've been going. It don't feel like forever, but it feels like forever. We're talking about weeks, man. Doc's been calling it, we'll call it a sabbatical of sorts from the YouTube streets, man. Doc's been going for a minute, man. And for y'all to pop up and say what's up, man, that means a lot to me. So even if you just come in and say, what's good, Doc? Doc appreciate that shit. Even if you watch this video at the end and you post a little comment at the bottom and say, Doc just want to say what's up, I'll make sure I heart that shit because, again, Doc appreciates all the love. Baby on the way? No, not going to lie to you, brother. That is not what's going on. I promise you that. It ain't no baby secrets. We keep it over here. I promise you that. All right, so it ain't a kid. SML, what's up with you, brother? Appreciate you coming through. He says, looking like you slimmed down, man. You working out? You know what? What's crazy? I don't really work out. I'm guilty of that. I am hella guilty. I'm able to hold frame, like the way my body looks in general. I'm able to hold frame without working out. But then again, it doesn't really look like I'm muscular or defined. But because I have these broad shoulders and shit, I don't really have to work out as often as I should, right? To still kind of look the same. But nah, what it is I've relegated myself to eating one solid meal a day. That's it. It's not so much working out as it is the diet. I eat one solid meal a day. And matter of fact, just before I came on, I ate my meal. Unfortunately, it do be in the evening time, like 8 o'clock at night when I actually decide to get it in. So I don't have a lot of time to burn it while I'm sleeping. But because I didn't eat all day, it's not like I'm really putting on anything or my body's holding on to it in the nighttime and shit. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's been, man. Really one solid meal a day. Unfortunately, I have, been drinking my Red Bulls. I haven't given up on those. I need to back off of that shit, like for real. But other than that, I might have a Red Bull like early part of the day and shit. That kind of ties me over, and I'm keeping busy with work and shit. Outside of that, man, I'm eating one solid meal a day. And, you do that for over a month's period of time, body start to slim down. But yeah, man, to keep it real with y'all, weight-wise, I believe that at my peak, I was like 240 in pounds, of course, not kilos. I ain't that fat. About 240, and I think I'm just under 210 now, about to hit the 200 mark. Hopefully soon. I just got to work on it, right? I really haven't been paying attention and, standing on the scale like that because that really wasn't really what my purpose was behind doing what I do. But, that's kind of where I was the last time I weighed myself, around the 210s and shit. So I'm kind of proud of myself a little bit, pat myself on the motherfucking back. You know what it is, gang. But yeah, something like that. He says your family, bro. He said we're gonna rock with you forever, man. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, that shit bring a tear to my eye, man. If I was a crying man, yo, right here, baby. I appreciate that one. I do 100%, man. Because Doc's been a go. I mean, I'm just saying though, thinking about how frequent I was on YouTube for that period of time, video every day, sometimes twice a day, then kind of just to an extent, drop it off the face of the earth. That's just not like me, right? So it just feels like shit. Motherfuckers are really quick to move on to some other shit, until I come back. But I appreciate it, though, for sure. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Shout out to my brother Robert. What's up with you, man? K Dallas, I see you, man. A lot of people have been like, yo, Doc, man, when are you going to the Philippines again, bro? Like, season 3 needs to pop off. And it's weird, though, because I be getting that in emails like, yo, Doc, when you going back? Or, you know, a comment on my last video, yo, Doc, when you going back? And it's crazy because I got a plan. I do. Like, the plan is percolating. Like, I got it going. It's just that I'm afraid to talk about it because you know how when you start running your mouth and shit, and you be like telling people, yo, you about to do this, you about to do that, and then it don't come to fruition, and then you out here looking fucking stupid because you told everybody you was doing some shit that didn't pop off. That's the only reason why I haven't really talked about it. But I promise you, when things are to the point where there's no return, I promise you, you guys will be the first to know, man. I don't know if it'll be a community post. I don't know. Picture my ticket. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But y'all will be the first to know when the good Doc makes moves or he, you know, makes that trip back to the other side of the world. Because it's been a long time coming, guys. I haven't been to the Philippines, honestly, since like 20. Damn. Nah, it was just right after COVID, bro. So I haven't been, I think 2019 was when I went. I was there in 2019. So you imagine, what are we doing? 6 years? 5 years? Crazy, bro. 5 years of no Philippine experience, 5 years of no season 3. That kills me. So trust me, I'm gonna make up for lost time. Let everything play out the way it needs to play out. Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna have to hear your boy make up for lost time. And I might just fucking vlog just 24 hours just cause, right? But anyways, yeah, man, the plan's coming, man. The plan is coming. My man says, how tall are you, bruh? Yeah, in the Philippines, I'm hella tall, by the way. Don't get it twisted, man. I am super tall in the Philippines. Here in the United States, I'm below average, man. Doc's about 5'8", man. 5'9" on a good day. Real talk, I'm only 5'8", bro. I'm a short dude. I don't know if they call them short kings, man, but I'm short as fuck. But hey, it worked for me, man. It worked for me. Yeah, I ain't gonna go into details, but yeah, man, I'm 5'8", bro. Dave, what's going on, brother, man? Good to see you here, family. Good to see you. He says, you already know where I'm finna ask. I already know where it's coming. Where the white women at? Go ahead and give it to me, pimpin'. He said, did you hear about the Filipino rapper that shot the American MMA fighter in Cebu? Damn, no, I did not hear about that, man. Let's hold that thought, man. Give me a second. We might have to wing something real quick, because if I find the article about it and we can go over it since I'm actually here, yeah, we might be able to do that. Give me a second. So while I'm doing this research, man, y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, notify, do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the good Doc's content. Doc would highly appreciate that one, man. If you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But like I said, man, I'm happy and blessed y'all choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Nayon Den, Filipino rapper, shoots MMA fighter. That's what I'm typing. Shoots MMA fighter in Cebu. Let me see what comes up. If an article comes up, somebody else did a video on it, so I'm seeing some videos pop up of it. But I'm trying to find a horror moment. MMA fighter shot dead outside the hotel. All right, this happened about 3 days ago. So there is a video attached to it. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick, guys. Don't look at me crazy. Give me a second. Uno momento. Let me slide myself in that little corner. Damn, it's been a while since I used this, y'all. Give me a second. Got to figure out. Present. I'm fucking up, y'all. Just give me a second. Present. Let me share my screen. Fucking there. We'll do entire screen. That's weird. Share. All right. So I should be sharing my shit right now. All right. So here's the article. Man, I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. I mean, while we here in the moment, in this organic, let me look at this shit exactly as you gave it to me, you know, like not no preview of me reading about it. I'm just reading about it, you know, with you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. So apparently there's a video. I'm afraid to play the video, but let's see what happens. Let me see what's on the video. I got to get these commercials in. Somebody got to make their money. Shit. My bad if y'all can't hear it. Just watch it. Oh, shit. All right, guys. Warning. Shit. Now, you know what? My bad, y'all. You know what? I'm afraid to play it. Y'all gonna have to look at that on your own because I'm afraid it might demonetize the video. Let me not do nothing stupid. All right, but let's go ahead and read it though. It says, in cold blood horror moment, MMA fighter shot dead outside the hotel by jealous rapper who accused him of talking to his girlfriend. Damn, we can't even have no conversations with these girls anymore, man. Crazy. But again, this comes courtesy of the US Sun. If you guys want to watch the video yourself, I'm not gonna watch it because I kind of feel like I might get myself screwed over doing some shit like that. So this is apparently the UFC fighter Looks like he's from Alabama. His name is George Ritchie from Alabama. He was shot in a car park after a party in Cebu. All right. Now I've been to Cebu. Let me tell y'all something about Cebu. And this is one thing that I really realized about Cebu, like the first time I ever went there. Cebu is a foreigner's haven. And I don't know why. You would think it would be Manila, but I think Cebu is truly one of those places where you'll find a lot of foreigners like hanging out and kicking in, having a good time. Not so much Davao. You know, that's why Davao will always be one of them hidden gems, in my opinion, because people go there, but they really don't go there like that. All right. But yeah. I last time I went to Cebu, man, a lot of foreigners, man, a lot of American guys too. I seen there, of course, with all due respect, and I say this with the utmost respect, Cebu is nothing more than an extension of Korea, because you'll see lots of Koreans in Cebu. Like, you see Indians in Davao, Koreans in Cebu. They have got that place damn near landlocked. I just call Cebu Little Korea, with all due respect now. But you know, there are quite a other foreigners from other races that actually seem to congregate there as well. I didn't know about it till I saw it firsthand. You would think it would be Manila, but Cebu is becoming that haven for a lot of foreign men. But again, going back to the article, guys, MMA fighter has been brutally killed by a jealous rapper accused of talking to this guy's girlfriend. Gentleman's name is George Ritchie from Alabama, shot in a car parking lot in Cebu City, Philippines. Couple of videos for you guys to check out. So apparently the guy who shot this particular individual is pictured here. His name is Jed. He said he's thought to have killed Michael after accusing him of harassing his girlfriend. So we go from talking to his girlfriend to harassing his girlfriend. That's weird. That's weird. Let's try this again. First of all, the article said, for, if I'm not mistaken, let's go back to the top real quick. Uno momento. My man said rapper who accused him of talking to his girlfriend. All right. So we go from talking to harassing, which is crazy, man. The verbiage, man. Always listen to the words, man. That shit'll get you every time. But the article reads on the CCTV. If I need to zoom in, guys, I can zoom in for you. Give me a second. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see it. I'm not able to read comments yet. I will get to those in a second for those of you who are just coming in. All right. So it says the CCTV footage shows a blue SUV thought to have been driven by the rapper suddenly pull up outside the waterfront Cebu City Hotel and Casino. Now, I want you to understand something. The waterfront City Hotel and Casino is that shit's not in the ghetto, okay? Let's call it for what it is. That is not no hood spot. That is, I'm not going to say it's hella upscale, but that's not the hood. That's not in an area where you would expect violence like this to occur. Let's call it for what it is. This is not an area in Cebu where violence like this occurs. The waterfront Cebu City Hotel and Casino, mind you, that, in my opinion, is not in a downtrodden / what most people would call the ghetto. It's just not in that area. So to have something like this happen in an area like this, that shit a little sketchy. But let's go ahead and read on. He is alleged to have been jealous that Michael had been speaking to his girlfriend and accused him of harassment. Okay, so he accused him of harassing his girlfriend. The article just said talking. Yeah, we two different places. Give me a second. The shocking video captured the moment Michael was savagely kicked in the back by one of Jed's cronies. So apparently there were multiple guys involved. I assumed it to be true. Very rare. Now, let's call it for what it is. I know I'm dragging it a little bit. We'll get to the rest of it, okay? Don't look like this much to read. But let's call it for what it is. This person is a trained, skilled fighter. I am not sure that the person who deleted this particular young man was aware of this man's background, but at the same time, you knew he came with cronies, quote unquote, individuals that were with him in his entourage or his group. I do not believe that there will be a fair fight when it comes to a local guy and a foreigner. Right? I do not believe there would, even if they came to the fisticuffs, right? Even if they came to throwing hands and you don't know this man's background, regardless of whether you knew this man's background or not, high percentage chance it wasn't going to be a fair fight from Jump Street. Because what would be the need or the reason for this particular rapper gentleman to fight the motherfucker hand to hand for no reason? Why would he fight him Why would he fisticuff this guy? Right? Make it make sense. Why would I throw hands with you? I don't know you like that, and I got my boys with me. This is my turf. This is my territory. Philippines is my home. Cebu, that's me. I'm a rapper. Of course, I got people in my entourage in my corner. So why in the world would I waste my time trying to throw hands on a one-on-one? Well, my boys can help take care of that business for me. That's just what I've learned, man. That's why when I tell y'all, man, don't be acting up here in the Philippines, I mean it. These guys are just weird. They built different. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it can happen in the United States too. Somebody jump you, but you got to understand, you have no backup. Ain't nobody there going to watch your back. Like, unless you got Filipino homies, and luckily, I believe that I got just enough people in the Philippines that I rock with that I think wouldn't allow situations like this to happen. And even myself, I wouldn't put myself in a situation for things like this to happen. But at the same time, you know, if you're going out, you're trying to enjoy the evening, you know, you're trying to talk to somebody else's girl. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe she didn't tell you she was in a relationship. You know what it is. You know, shit could pop off in any way, shape, or form, right? So his cronies ended up kicking my man in the back after being attacked from behind. The CCTV sees Michael tentatively walk over to the car, open the passenger door, and have a very brief conversation with the driver. All right, Michael can then be seen being shot twice and collapsing on the floor. Medics were quickly ushered onto the scene, and Michael was rushed to the Cebu City Medical Center, where he was treated for the gunshot wounds in his shoulder and thigh. Although the medics acted quickly, Michael passed away after 2 nights in the intensive care unit on March 19th. So that just happened, we'll say, about a week or so ago or less. Local police were able to arrest Jed 4 hours after the particular event took place. Is there anything else to read? All right, police seized the loaded handgun. Police spokesperson added that although Jed was initially only charged with the illegal possession of a firearm and attempted murder, excuse me, I shouldn't say that, attempted deletion, this has since been changed. Police chief confirmed that Jed is now facing the deletion charges. Jed told the police that Michael had been harassing a group of females at the party and maintained that the shooting was an act of protection and self-defense. Wow. People get funny with those words, man. People get funny with the word. The wordplay is everything. It was an act of protection and self-defense. An act of protection and self-defense. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you define self-defense, but if your boys get out the car and put hands on somebody first, and then that person retaliates or comes to the car to talk to you about it, and then you know, put a couple rounds through that window, how is that self-defense, bruh? When it seems like in this particular case, you started it. Now, let's call it for what it is. Who knows what happened earlier on in that evening? All right. I'm going to be real and I'm going to be fair because, you know, the good doc's a fair person, right? I'm going to call it for what it is because I really don't know what it is, right? I'm going to call it how I think it could have played out from both perspectives. The dude could have been a complete asshole, right? The MMA fighter could have really been in the club harassing women. He could have been, right? You know, get a couple drinks in you. You're feeling yourself a little bit. You could have been over there thinking these Filipinas really want me. We've had these conversations before, how guys kind of, you know, take it above and beyond when they don't necessarily need to. You know, you think women are feeling you, maybe they not. You know, he could have very well been harassing, right? It's 50-50 chance. Could have happened, could not have happened. But the fact that you didn't address the situation then and there when he was doing the harassing, but you wait until my man gets outside of the club when he's by himself, and then your boys, you know, start to, you know, attack or, you know, do something to him, and he tries to respond to that attack, and then you put a couple rounds through the window, it's kind of look a little shaky for a self-defense plea. But again, you know, one of the scary things, I like to believe in the fairness of everything. I do like to believe in law and justice. I do like to believe that the truth will eventually prevail. But it still is a foreigner against a local. And we just got to be real, right? We got to be real. It's still the local guy's word. Fellow rapper Cebu, Filipinos finest, I assume. I'm not sure, and I'm not familiar with this man's music, but it's his word against the foreign man. Sometimes it don't always play in the foreign man's favor. That's all I'm saying. God bless his soul, man. Nobody deserves to die in that way. If I was grabbing ass and shit, with all due respect, I would never do that because that's not Doc's vibe. But even if I was doing that, damn, I don't think I deserve to die for it. That's crazy, right? But anyways, reading the rest of the story, Mayer immediately dismissed these claims. He said the bouncer pacified the group and escorted them outside. Okay, so the bouncer apparently got involved, made sure the situation was not what it was. The foreigner was already there at the hotel, and there was another group of young people who were talking to him. Okay, so it seems like the bouncer took care of that particular situation, and what I just previously explained to you guys was, something that happened, outside of the club. The suspect was not in the hotel initially and had nothing to do with it. He only arrived in the area later, and okay, so your man's wasn't even in the club. Oh, okay. Now now the wheels are turning, right? I'm a little slow, man. I'm just getting back into the groove of things. Work with me. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. You know what it is, man. If y'all want to support, you already know what it is. So apparently this Jed character wasn't even in the club. So he really don't know exactly what the fuck was happening between him and these women. He may have heard some things, but it said that the rapper wasn't even at the hotel or did nothing or was no part of anything happening in the hotel. He only arrived later on. So only when my man was outside did he arrive and they exchanged words. Okay. So maybe he heard that my man was over here, harassing these women. I don't know. But it's starting to get a little iffy and a little sketchy here. Let's go ahead and try to sum this up real quick. He has admitted to shooting the American man. There is no basis that it was self-defense or that he was protecting his friends. The mayor added that the man who kicked Michael has been identified and is being tracked down, so they haven't found him. They found the rapper, but not his friend. It later emerged that after Jed fatally, put a little rounds through Michael, he fled to his manager's home crying and having a nervous breakdown. The manager quoted the incident to the police. Jed was quoted to have said, "Bro, help me. I killed someone. Take me to the police station." Wow. Okay, there's some more footage here. Wow, this is starting to get ugly. Paul also claimed that the rapper regretted shooting Michael. Michael's heartbroken girlfriend, who is also Filipina, I assume. Her name is Tisay, excuse me. Fuentes has taken to social media to share her grief. So he was dating a Filipina, my assumption. She posted, "I can't accept what happened to her particular young man. I told you to get better because there's so many people waiting for you to come back. Why did you leave me? Your child and family were still..." Oh, wow. Okay, so it gets a little deeper. So apparently my man was a father too. Shit. Man. Oh, shit. Man, your child and family were still waiting for you. Oh, shit. Michael was respected athlete who had taken part in a number of MMA fights across the United States. He was also involved in the establishment of the first ever jiu-jitsu league, the Professional Grappling Federation in Las Vegas. So my man was doing things. He was also involved in the PGF founder took to Instagram to express condolences. He wrote what he wrote here. He dedicated his time and effort every week to something that he believed in and fought his heart out for every time stepped to the ring. I'm assuming that might be a picture of him right there. That dude looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked like he could take care of business. I'm assuming that's him right here and his young lady. Damn. Yeah, I'm assuming that's his wife or his young lady there. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. He looked like he's swole. Like, I just don't think that it was ever gonna be a one-on-one, and I don't believe that in any respect weapons would not be involved, regardless of whatever the situation was. Yeah, dude look like he takes care of himself and the tattoos and all that stuff. And this is the rapper in question. Picture of him. I think we've covered the rest of the story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's let us figure this out. That's a lot to unpack, ladies and gentlemen. It sucks. I appreciate my man. What my man? We go back to it. Joseph, I appreciate you bringing this one to my attention. That story was crazy, by the way. Did not under any circumstances see that shit coming. But we got to understand, man, we are outnumbered in the country. A, B, I don't know what it is that drove this man to do what he did to this particular foreign man. But at the same time, man, I don't know what this particular gentleman did to put himself in that situation either. I mean, for me, it go both ways, guys. It does. I'm a real one, and I'm gonna call it like I see it. It goes both ways, man. If you're gonna sit there and put yourself in that situation or not extract yourself from it, if you know that you can by walking away, I mean, getting kicked in the back, man, that's kind of provoking me. I understand it's going to be hard to walk away from somebody kicking me in my back. But at the same time, man, we got to make smarter decisions as foreign men in these countries, man. We've got to make smarter decisions. All right. But yeah, man, that was tough to read, bro. But I understand, and I think it's safe to say from the perspective of, man, for foreigners, guys, it's not probably as safe as you thought it may have once been. And you've got to be careful how you approach or talk to certain people, let alone involve yourself in activities, such as, arguments or whatever it may be. You got to be careful about that shit. Man, you think they care about us now? I can almost guarantee for every couple of people who are cool with you being there and happy that you were able to visit their country and, welcoming and all of that shit. And you get these heartfelt, warm welcomes in the country and shit. For every few people that do that shit, I can almost guarantee there's going to be a handful that look at you like, why this foreigner in my country? Don't get it twisted. Filipinos overall, great people. I very rarely had any issues with them, right? Every now and again, you might have an idiot, somebody who says something ignorant or, whatever. But for the most part, in general, I never really could say that I've had any bad experiences dealing with Filipinos for the most part. But again, I speak for the most part. There are a couple people out there that I promise you say the wrong thing at the right time, motherfuckers start to get active. It's true. People don't have a problem getting active in these streets. Why? Because they got to defend their right. There's a thing in the Philippines, and I've said it before in a video. Maybe you guys heard it. Maybe you guys missed it. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever talked about this, but there's a thing in the Philippines called saving face. And if you disrespect a Filipino amongst his friends or amongst the people, and people see you disrespect him, it is almost an automatic thing for him to react because he's got to protect his image or his ego or whatever you want to call it. They call it saving face. They're not just going to allow you to say some things. I can remember a particular experience, and it was just something simple, but it really could have escalated hella quickly if certain people didn't allow cooler heads to prevail. So Doc likes to play Texas Hold'em, right? I like poker. And in Davao, there's this place. I don't know if it still exists. It should be. I hope it does. It's called Davao Metro Card Club, right? So it's a place where you can go play poker, right? It's a poker house or a poker lounge or whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? I can remember I was sitting at one table. There was a table of a couple of guys, and there was a white foreigner guy that was playing at the table too. All I remember was looking at my hand because I was losing. You know what it is. I was losing at my table. All I see is this Filipino guy stand up like really, really like abrupt and rough. And he's like, yo, don't say that to me. That's all I heard. Like, yo, don't you say that shit to me. Or don't say that to me. Don't you say shit like that to me ever again. Pointing his finger in the white guy's face. Now, the white guy's still sitting down, but he's like standing over the top of him, like pointing at him and shit like that. Come to find out, I think the foreigner had a better hand, right? I think his hand just beat the other guy's hand. And he might have said something like, oh, you're an idiot, or oh, you're stupid, or, bad hand, or whatever the fuck, just something like that. But this guy took it very serious. And, when I lose, and if it's a lot of money, I don't know how much money was involved, but if you lose, you're already pissed off. And somebody gonna run their mouth talking about, yo, you're an idiot, or oh, you're stupid, you should have did that. It don't take much to set people off. Is all I'm trying to get at. It does not take much to set people off. So if you in the wrong place at the right time and somebody going through it, maybe that was my man's last beer money. I don't know what the fuck, but he lost it and you kind of rub it in his face. Almost guaranteed it could have escalated a whole lot quicker and faster and gotten a whole lot worse than, actually what it was. Right. So again, it doesn't take much to set them off. And I do believe that it probably did rub a little bit hard, rub a little bit harder, a little bit deeper. It probably did cut a little bit deeper. The fact that it was a foreigner saying this shit, you know what I'm saying? It probably does hurt a little bit more to hear it from a foreign guy. Because it's already, you think you're better than me because you're in my country and you got more money than me, or you kind of maybe walking around with this bravado that I see in you, or maybe it's just me being the foreign guy. I mean, me being the Filipino guy that looks at you like you have this audacity to feel like you're better than me, and then you beat me at this hand and then rub it in my face. Man, I have nothing to lose, man. I'm gonna take your ass out. You know, it could be something as simple as that, right? It don't take, motherfuckers die for a lot less in the Philippines, bro. Can you imagine? Can you imagine losing your life over 1,500 pesos? I want you to really, really think about that. Can you imagine losing your life over 2,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos, 10,000 pesos? Can you imagine putting yourself in a situation where a motherfucker just don't like you? You said something stupid, or there was some money involved, and they felt slighted in any way, shape, or form, and they just want to take you out just cuz. Come on, fam. Come on, bruh. If your life is worth 10,000 pesos and that's it, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, bro. I just genuinely don't know what to tell you. But going on to some more conversation, man. Before I get into it, man, if you guys haven't already liked, please make sure you caress molesty, stretch yourself over that like button. It wants and needs, it most definitely has to have it. If you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But like the good doc says, happy and blessed y'all choose come through. Spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now and then, back to business. Dave, I wish I could tell you where the white women's is at. I got an Asian wife, so I can't call it, big dog. Can't call it. Robert, he said they got videos inside the club and outside. If you guys want to, give me a second. If you guys want to check out the article that I actually just read from, I'm going to go ahead and throw that right here in the chat, only because I feel like, we could watch the videos at your own time. You know what I'm saying? That way you can check it out. But if my man wasn't involved in any of the club shit, but he was on the outside doing that shit, and how can you call self-defense, or how can you even remotely speak to what was going on inside of a club that you won't even in? You know what I mean? My man says lots of Koreans and Angeles too. I believe it. Koreans and Africans, boy. You know what it is. My man, so what do you think about what do you think about AC Philippines? That is a great conversation that I've had time and time again. And any of my people who have been with the good doc for a long period of time have heard me say this shit all the time. I say it all the time. I say it jokingly, but I do believe it could technically come to fruition. Right? Let me give you let me create a visual for you guys for the good doc's last and final video on YouTube. Okay, I want to create this visual because I think it'll paint a picture of how the good doc feels about Angeles City. Okay, imagine the good doc sitting at one of your favorite bars on Walking Street. The video pans around. All you see is a bunch of girls on the street. You know what I'm saying? A couple lady boys in the corner and shit. Doc's got his Samsung lights, sitting at the sitting outside the club with the mama sign or one of the waitresses and shit. Good doc turns the camera to himself and he hits you with the final words that you'll ever hear from the good doc's mouth. It has been fun. It has been real, but it's time for the good doc to go and get the get. So with that being said, the good doc is officially out. Aalis nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace. Fade to black. That will be the last video that you ever catch the good doc film. AKA Angeles City is my swan song. All right. How do I feel about AC? I feel like if I have to go to AC and record content there, I have completely ran out of shit to talk about. AC is going to be my last video, y'all. I promise you. The last video that the good doc ever shoots is going to be in Angeles City. So if you see me in AC for any reason, just know that the good doc is about to turn down. That's just the truth. That's just me, right? Because I feel like, AC is that place where I would go if I feel like I have nothing else to provide for you guys. I feel like I have nothing else to offer, right? Except for some walking street videos, some titties and some ass and shit on the street. If that's all I got to offer you, man, that is the good doc swan song. So that's how I feel about AC. I think AC is not horrible. I do believe that AC has a lot more to offer than Walking Street. It's just unfortunate that that's what it's known for. right? Let's call it for what it is. It's unfortunate. I'm sure they got good food spots. I'm sure they got other things, but you imagine how many kilometers wide or how many kilometers long AC is. The only thing that people care about is one little road, or should I say street, and Walker Street. That's it. I mean, I wish that there was somebody out there, and I'm pretty sure there is, man. Doc just hasn't done his research, but I wish there was somebody out there that showed the brighter side of AC, other things to offer other than, anything that deals with bar girls and clubs and all of that shit on that one little strip of road, right? You wish, but none of that shit's gonna get the views like the Walker Street videos will. Let's call it for what it is. None of that shit is gonna probably get the views like the Walker Street videos. So if the good doc has to record there, or if I go there and I start recording, just know in your mind, I'm telling you right now, if I do that, just know that it's about time for the good doc to wrap it up. That means I have nothing else to offer you. So that's how I feel about AC right there. He said they were jealous because he's getting a lot of attention. Of course, man. I can actually see that, man. I can actually see the Salosa or the people getting jealous because Foreigner getting a lot of attention. As you can tell, this man definitely took care of himself. Looked like he spent a lot of time in the gym, can handle himself in the streets if he actually had to. This boy was really about that life. So it does show that there was probably the likelihood that he was probably getting a lot more attention than everybody else. And like you said, man, that could definitely rub some people the wrong way. Travel Trends, what's going on, man? Good, die back at it like a crack addict. You know what it is, man. Again, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure y'all do that. Some girls in the club said the girls were after the Foreigner. Why does that not surprise me? Why does it not surprise me that the girls were probably on him? Like I said, man, I'm going to call it for what it is. Dude looked like a pretty decent looking dude. He looked like he could probably pull him, right? I mean, damn, I've seen some of the ugliest motherfuckers in the world pull some baddies in the Philippines. So if that's what it is, and you look half decent, you take care of yourself. And we're talking about a club scene, mind you, or wherever he was at. I assume it was a club. Of course, all the girls are going to be on him, especially if he's one of like few or the only one that was in a club that day. So that wouldn't surprise me at all either. He said I was staying in Thailand, came to the Philippines to visit. Man, I hope your trip to the Philippines served you well, my friend. My man said, moral of the story, stay the fuck at home. That is true, man. Sometimes you just need to stay your ass at the house. I never went to clubs in the Philippines. It's crazy. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I was a nerd. I still am. I don't care about clubs, man. It's stank in there. You know what I'm saying? It smell like sweat and ass. I mean, I'm just not a club guy. If I'm gonna meet a girl, that's not happening now, of course, since your boy said I do. But again, if I was going to meet a girl, I'd rather just meet your ass online. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the Good Doc's playbook. I have a standard message. It was copy paste to an extent. I changed a couple words, if I needed to. Copy paste. Hit them up on the online site. Let them know that I'm trying to see them. Let them know I'm trying to, go out. Maybe we grab something to eat or some shit or go to a coffee shop. Just talk, have conversation. That's how I met girls back in the day. I'll tell you for what it is. Because I hate clubs. I think there's nothing in those clubs for me. Most girls that actually frequent clubs, they looking for probably something that I can't provide. I'm not a club dude. If that's your vibe, baby girl, you do you, but you're not gonna see me in them club streets. That's just not me. So I meet me a nice little nerd. Or, if I want trying to talk to some girl at school. You know what I'm saying? Online, man. So we get straight to business, man. I ain't got to buy you no drinks, maybe, a little coffee or something. That's about it. I mean, I never went to the club. I went to the club. Let me stop lying. With my brother, I did one time, and it was okay. But that was because we were with a group. And he's probably, never mind. I'm not going to tell my man business like that, but he might have been talking to one of the girls in the group or some shit. Anyway. Why does it seem like there is such a lack of appreciation in the Philippines? We change lifestyles for generations of families, especially for the guys that tape women in the school. Hey, man, are you saying that they need to start putting some spec on these foreigner names out here in these Philippine streets? I am definitely 100% on board with that one, man. They do need to start putting some spec on these foreigner names, man. Because I promise you, that money that they be funneling into the Philippines, whether it be you a OFW, shout out to all my overseas Filipino workers that bring money home, or you a foreign man working your ass and your hands to the bone to send it to this pretty young thing that you hope to be able to, get a little sniff from, have a little fun with. You send the money over there to make sure she taken care of and she waits for you and all that shit. You right, man. Foreigners do be out here changing lives, man. I look, I believe 100%, and I do feel like the lack of appreciation comes from the simple fact that there foreigners that are doing it are a dime a dozen. Let's call it for what it is, man. The reason why there's a lack of respect is because there's too many guys already out there in the street doing it. Imagine if you were doing that for a single female, but that single female was getting the exact same damn thing, if not more, from another foreign man. That's where the lack of appreciation comes from. Because, and I hate to say it because it comes off insensitive to an extent, depending on how you look at the situation. But let's call it for what it is. Some of these guys are dumb. Some of these guys are idiots. Some of these guys are taking care of girls that they'll never sleep with, taking care of girls and their families that they'll never be able to smash. And even if they did, you're probably one of very few or one of very many that she probably has in the queue that's probably also sending the exact same thing. So most of the time, the lack of appreciation and respect comes from the simple fact that you're not the only one that's doing it for. Likely, you're not the only guy out there sending them a little bit of monies. And I told you, man, I made this video, and I'm talking about old ass videos because they keep coming to mind. There was one girl I talked to, right? And I respect the absolute fuck out of this girl. She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. Not my wife, of course. Y'all know better than that. But my wife is always number one. Let's get it right for people start tripping. But there was this young lady I used to talk to, not necessarily in a sexual manner, but I used to talk to her because I was always curious about how she always got money. Right? She always had money. I want you to understand. She was a classmate, not a classmate, but we went to the same college, right? So I knew of her. She knew of me. We talked, right? She cool people, really cool people. So this is what she said. She was like, "Hey, no." I asked. I was like, "Baby girl, you stay paid, man. I'm thinking mommy and daddy got money, right? I mean, it's not uncommon, at least in a college setting, to find a young lady that has a mother and father that have money. Maybe mom's an OFW or dad got a little small business or some shit. You're making money, right? It's not uncommon." But I talked to her and she was like, yeah. She's like, most times how I get money is I have a lot of guys that I talk to, and I just ask them for money, and they usually send it, right? And I'm like, gold digger, I'm just talking shit. And she's like, no, it's not like that. I mean, but yeah, it is like that. But she said the realest shit to me. She was like, imagine if I only ask 1,000 pesos, 1,500 pesos from 10 different people, and I end up getting it from 5 people, I just basically made 5,000 pesos. Let's say that everybody gave her $1,000. How much is 1,000 pesos? You could do the exchange rate if you want to for what it is today, but we'll just say it's about $20 a piece. About $20. For your average fucking American, $20 ain't gonna hurt your pockets. $20 ain't gonna hurt your pockets. Think about it. For your average American guy to send a Filipino $20 ain't gonna hurt your pocket. But imagine if you're getting $20 from 5 different people. You just made $100 that week. Now, $100 ain't enough for you to go run and, retire or anything. But imagine if you do that consistently and that comes to you every week. Or, I would say she would probably get more than that. I would just say conservatively 5,000 a week. You're only asking $20 from a guy every week or every other week, and he sends it. It's like $40 for him a month, but you're getting that from multiple guys. That shit start to add up. So basically what baby girl was saying was, I don't ask for large amounts of money. She's like, that's where most of your Filipinos fuck up. They like, oh, can I get $100? Oh my God, I need to buy this. I need to buy that. Oh my God, I'm about to, get kicked out of school, or my electricity is about to be turned off. I need to pay my tuition. I need to buy a uniform. They come up with all these excuses to be able to ask for a large amount of money. Now, sometimes they may get lucky. And she said that. She's like, sometimes they do get lucky. Sometimes you do find the guy, one gullible motherfucker that will give you, 3,000 pesos or some shit. Now, again, 3,000 is like $60. So it's not really that bad. But, you get the point. You start to run the numbers. But if I ask for $20, most of the guys don't ask why. They're not really questioning me. They're not really doing that. They just give me the 20. They just send me the $20. They send me the 1,000 pesos, and that's it. I don't know. Maybe I send them a picture of a titty or something. She says that her compensation is just something light, but something to keep them happy, to keep them, keep sending that money, right? No face, no face, no case type shit. That's the kind of vibe she goes with. And she schooled me, and I didn't really need that schooling, but I needed to hear it. And I begged her. I said, baby girl, I said, I need you to come on to do an interview with me. I was like, baby girl, I need this interview. Like, I need you to talk. I need you to say this shit. Because I need people to don't think that I'm fucking crazy out here when I say this shit. She refused. She was like, I'll tell you everything that you need to know. You can just regurgitate it back to your audience how you want to. But that's just it. That's how I operate. And I've been pretty successful at it. So if you find a girl out there that may try to, I would say, slight you or lowball you, hit you with that 1,000 peso here, next 2 weeks, oh, baby, I need 1,000 pesos. I just want to grab something to eat, have a nice meal. Can I get that? Da, da, da. And you got that gullible foreigner that'll do it. Just know that it's probably not just you. So going back to what my man Vince asked, the lack of appreciation comes from the simple fact that there's probably too many gullible foreigners out there that are able to do it. So if you decide to cut her off hypothetically, or you decide to say, hey, you know what? I'm not sending you any more money. You're just one spoke of the wheel that's probably still going to continue to roll, and she'll probably find somebody to fill that spoke position quickly. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the lack of appreciation comes from. And I did not mean to go on that spiel, but I hope that y'all learned something today, because when the good doc comes on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all about dropping that knowledge, man. I swear to God, I'm all about giving y'all all the information that I've accumulated over my time spent in country and how these girls think. Because it's amazing what you can get from a young lady if they fuck with you, if they like you, or if they just love talking. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing what you'll get from them. And that was just one of those gems that I think I needed to share with y'all. Whether it's a lot of money or a little bit of money, they're really good at finessing and finagling. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much, and they know it, and they know it now. All right, so that's just a little bit of something that y'all can put in y'all back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Back of the head right here. Just keep it back there just in case you ever need to break that out. If a young lady come at you online asking for a little bit of moniness, right? $20 ain't gonna kill your pockets, right? It never really does. For your average, now don't get me wrong, $20 may be a lot for somebody. But for your average American, you can fucking get rid of $20, right? What is that? Two meals at McDonald's, or 2 meals at your favorite fast food restaurant, averaging $10 a piece, right? It's nothing that really hurt you. You feel me? So that's why I feel they don't appreciate as much as you wish that they would. You know what I'm saying? All right. Anyways, man, I see 80 y'all in the building, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love to the good duck, man. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. I do not plan to leave you long, right? I do not plan to go on a sabbatical for a long period of time. Again, just know the good doc is back, trying to deliver that knowledge, because I think it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Just when they needed him most. Guess who's Bizak? Anyways, all right, make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe, man. If you guys want to support in any capacity, y'all know how it is, man. Appreciate y'all locking in. My man says, while in San Diego in the Navy, I experienced the hate from the local dudes because we had the 1st and 15th, and they was broken. Their girls was choosing us. It's the same thing in the Philippines. It hurts when they can't compete. True. It sucks, man. Yeah, it hurts when you can't get right. I also knew a girl. She was weird. She was weird, but I got to tell the story because you mentioned being in the Navy, and there was in the Navy, to an extent, not the same, but kind of the same as the maritime workers, the Marine or I think it's Mariners or maritime workers in the Philippines, the guys that are on the boats for a significant period of time. I think that's what they call them. All right. There was a school next door to my college that was specified specifically in that particular course, being a maritime worker. If I'm saying that right or saying that wrong, my bad. Anyways, I knew a girl. She openly admitted to selling that punani. She didn't give a fuck. She didn't care. That was what she did. But at the exact same time, baby girl was one of those type of girls to know the dates when the boats were returning back to its port. And she used to wait outside the gate with a whole bunch of other girls for these guys to get off of these boats so that, she could get a little bit of monies out of them. I mean, she openly admitted to selling that cooch. She didn't care. She was cool with it. It was her job. Like, she made money that way. But she was like, yeah, man, every time we knew the boats were coming in, me and my girlfriends, we would wait outside and wait for the guys to get off the boat. Because you imagine these guys have been on boats for months at a time, unless they, playing for the same team and, they like sword fighting and shit. Chances are, unless they was just getting their rocks off by, taking care of themselves, chances are they won't get none. So the first thing that a lot of these guys were looking to do when they got off of these boats was to get a little action. She knew that. She knew it. So her and her homegirls used to wait out whenever they knew the boats was coming in. And, wait for them to come off and wait to be chosen, pretty much. I mean, is it dangerous? Absolutely. But at the same time, she knew that these guys had money. Let's make sure we preface that. She knew that they had money or access to cash because they had been on the boat. They weren't able to spend no money. They just got what they got. And, as soon as they get back on base, they go to the nearest ATM, probably get a little bit lucky, get them a room, bang them out a little bit of, some snatch, and then go back to business. So that was how she made her money. She said, those guys, she said the funniest shit. She was like, those guys, they would pay the most for a little bit of action, because they was missing it so much, right? So let's say, for example, her normal rate would be what? And I'm just saying this, I didn't know what her actual rate was, but she uses, let's say it's $1,500. She would say $3K, and the guy wouldn't mind paying $3K because, hell, man, I've been on this boat for months at a time. I need me a little action. So I'm telling you, man, that was just something I wanted to share with y'all, man. That made me think of that one. But yeah, most guys in the Philippines, they just can't compete, especially if you're a foreign man and you got a little pension coming or you got a little check coming in, like my man said on the 1st and the 15th. Yeah, man, that's a thing for you, right? That money coming in every first, or either the 1st, the 15th, or if you're one of those like me who get paid at the end of the month. Don't ask me why. You always know that money's coming in. So most guys can't compete with the type of money that your average foreigner, brings in. Brings into the country. Maximus, what's going on, pimp? Appreciate you coming through. He said, Mrs. Dog going upside your head. I said, nah, I'm good, man. The wife kicked me out of the game room. She's in there playing with her friends. So unless she really does choose to watch this motherfucker from beginning to end, and we're already 57 minutes in, if she chooses to come in, or we'll say 50-minute mark when I started the story, if she want to go through and hear all that, baby girl, hey, the past is the past. Past is the past. You know what, man? I missed you too, sir. The baby Sinclair jokes, they're kind of funny, though. You're not lying. But at the same time, man, I got thick skin, man. It's good to see you too, Pippin. My man says that it's only foreigners who associate Walking Street with Angeles City. It's a huge city. Most Filipinos who travel there don't even know Walking Street exists. And I'm glad that they do. I'm glad. See, the thing is, I just wish it's true. If you say that it's only foreigners that does that, I can see how you can come to that. Because, right, there's no Filipinos that I'm aware of that make videos on Walking Street. That's stupid. Yep, and it makes perfect sense. But I wish that there was a foreigner that was either living there or there for a long period of time, enough to be able to show what else Angeles City has to offer to foreigners outside of Walking Street. I just wish. But at the same time, you know where the views are at, and it's usually there, right? It's crazy. My man says, if you try and pick up women from the lower social classes in the Philippines, that comes with a lot of headaches and baggage. That I can agree with that, man, because there's a thought process wherein this foreigner is going to take care of my mom, my family. They're going to retire them. They're going to do this. There is a lot that comes with dealing with the lower socioeconomic class. I am blessed enough that I was able to learn and talk to and deal with young ladies that also went to school with me. Granted, that didn't necessarily mean that they were rich or this, that, and the other, but it put them in a different realm, at least in a different perspective, or at least I believe that the majority of them saw foreigners in a different perspective, because they weren't necessarily looking at me or at any other foreigner that may have been at the school like a come up, right? More or less, hey, that's my friend. That's the guy I know. We go to class together. He's cool. I like him. He's got good personality. Not so much, oh, give me money. What can this guy do for me type shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. There's still a couple, but not really like that. He said, yeah, there's nice malls, great schools, and friendly people. I assume you're talking about AC maybe, or you just saying about Philippines in general. He said, do you see well-to-do Filipinos come to the U.S. and head to the ghettos and trailer parks to find women? No, I don't. I do not at all, sir. Very astute observation. I agree with that. Like I said, man, I do believe that your average foreigner. There's an analogy that we use. We call it the low-hanging fruit. In this particular perspective, with all due respect, the young ladies that come from the lower socioeconomic classes are somewhat considered the low-hanging fruit, mainly because they're the easiest to pluck or the easiest to get or the easiest to get with in some instances, not always. And they're the easiest ones to get because, with all due respect, there comes a level of disparity. And with that disparity seems to be a need or a dependency on foreigners to take care of them. Going back to what was previously mentioned, you know what I'm saying, about the idea of, Filipinos not going to the rougher areas in the United States to look for women and things of that nature, and why some foreigners tend to spend a lot of their time there. Because in their minds, it's the easiest to get with, and probably, with all due respect, the more cost-effective. At least they believe it's probably the most cost-effective way to go about getting with some young ladies in country. If you think about it, yeah, what is this young lady from the lower socioeconomic class really going to ask for that I can't actually pay for? And if you think about the mindset of some, the mindset of many, if we're going to call it for what it is, the mindset is, what can I get right now? There's very few young ladies that I've come across, at least in a lower socioeconomic class, that know about the long game, or they know about, doing what it takes to get something more out of it. Your average young lady that comes from that particular class, I'm not saying that it's all of them, but the average ones, they just want something simple. Oh, can you buy me this dress, buy me this purse, buy me this shoes that I saw at the store? And that shit kind of makes them happy because it's what they want in the moment, right? Think about it. That's what they want. This foreigner's giving me everything that I want or everything that I asked for. In your mind, you're like, everything she asked for is peanuts to me. So it's not outside of the realm of me to be able to afford it or get it for. And if that's what it takes for me to get a little action, so be it. You're all looking at it like a win-win situation. Think about it. You're all looking at it from a win-win perspective, right? Foreigner wins because I don't have to spend a lot of money to get a little snatch. The Filipina who comes from that particular class is probably like, yeah, he's giving me everything that I'm asking for. Oh my God, he's my savior type shit, right? I think it's only when they start to ask for houses. Oh, can you build my family a house? Oh, can you build my family a sorry store? When they start to ask for that shit, that's when foreign to get a little iffy. Now, to an extent, if baby girl putting that thing on you and you whipped, you might do it. Or you'll be like, yeah, time for me to go and move on to the next one. I've gotten everything that I can get out of her. And she's starting to ask for shit that I don't want to provide. Sorry, just don't want to do it. At that point, that's when you start making life decisions, I guess. So when you start making decisions, heaven forbid, don't get them pregnant, though. Do not get them pregnant. Not saying that you're going to be like trapped or anything, because you could just run away. I know that's fucked up, but you could. But at the same time, man, you just don't want the headache of being attached to somebody that you really weren't actually interested in, and family and all that issues, and then you end up like this MMA fighter we just recently talked about, because the cousins and the dad or the uncles, the titos, are over here in the corner getting drunk off Janeba Gin or some fucking Red Horse, and they about to come whoop your ass because they know where you staying at. So, hey, make good life decisions when you're living in the Philippines, and you just might make it. He says it's only the poor that are impressed with a foreigner, middle class and up. No, the majority of these guys are losers back home. Let's be honest. It's an actual term here now. Doesn't surprise me. Like I said, when I went to school with a lot of, Filipinos that were not necessarily, I won't say well off, but, they could, take care of their own, and they come from decent families. Yeah, none of them were looking at the foreigner like a come up. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably right. They're like, yeah, these foreigners are just foreigners. They're just regular people for the most part, right? It's like you said, it's usually the lower socioeconomic class or the people that come from the lower status that kind of look at foreigners in the light like they're the saviors, and it doesn't matter exactly how much money they have because they are under the assumption that the amount of money that they have is a whole lot more than what they have in their own pockets at the moment. So I'm with that. He said, Dogma, did you and the wife have a baby yet? No, sir, we did not. No baby. No baby. I thought LBH was, let's be honest. He said, Little Brown 304, you're funny, man. Oh, they're losers back home. I thought it was, let's be honest. My bad, bro. Fuck me all up. But yeah, they could definitely be the losers back home. That doesn't surprise me at all. Because there are a lot of guys that come from, not well off backgrounds, bro. Let's call it for what it is, man. A lot of guys in these streets, they try to perpetrate the fraud, right? Oh, let me flash a little bit of cash and maybe she give me a little last. I mean, it's just a thing, man. It's crazy. I think it's weird. I don't genuinely give a shit, but I do think it's weird. I think it's weird that that's the way you choose to get you a young lady in the country and then have the expectation that that particular young lady is actually in it because she want to fuck with you. That's what got me bugged out, bro. That you actually think she's in this because she wants to be here. No, she's in it because she knows that there is possibly or potentially something that she can get out of dealing with you. Who knows how long it'll take her to get what she needs? Typically, if you don't give it in the first 2 asks, she'll probably say, fuck it, man. He ain't about nothing, right? If she asks once, she may ask one more time. After that, you probably ain't going to see her very much after that if you're not providing her with her needs. Again, when I say that some of these young ladies are all about what they can get in the moment, that's truth. It is what it is. They're all about what they can get right now. And if you're not providing right now, then why would they deal with you right now? Why? Give me one legit reason why this young lady will continue to talk to you. Why would she continue to give you her time if you're not willing to put out? Again, this comes from when you deal with certain types of women. Again, not all women are in it for what they can get from you. Let's call it for what it is. That is not what I'm not going to say the majority, but that is not with all. We're going to say all of them. That's not what all of them are in it for. But at the same time, you got to understand, don't be surprised if they ask for something. At least you know what you're getting yourself into. That's how I used to look at life. If a Filipino gonna ask me for something, as long as baby girl willing to put out, again, before I was married now, Doc's happy. But before that, if you was willing to put out, like, what you want me to say, boo? Look, you need 1,000 pesos? You need 1,200? I could do that, but I need you to come holler at me real quick, man. I'm gonna need you to come accompany me somewhere real quick. If you need it, that's fine. I got it. But with all due respect, baby girl, we gonna work for that little cash. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it is what it is. That's why I'm not surprised anymore. Like, you shouldn't be appalled if somebody comes at you with the money game. So, what do you expect? You're a fucking foreigner. You are the foreign man. What do you expect? Tell me what you expect. Oh my God, this girl likes me for me. Oh my God, she really is just gonna give me the goods for free. Ooh. You actually think she gonna give you the shit for free? And then what? And then what? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some out there that you might be able to finesse and finagle. I don't think you should go about it that way, because if she feels slighted in any way, shape, or form, you could end up like this MMA fighter that we just talked about. Just saying. I'm just saying. Like, if you want to play that game, I'm not going to tell you what, but I'm going to tell you, yeah. Play that game if you want to. That game's for suckers. That game is for suckers. Trust me, I learned the easy way. Thank God for knowledge and tutelage. That's all I'm going to say, man. Thank God for somebody being there to tell me what was good. That ain't everybody. But yeah, we'll see. He said most looking for older retired foreigners or young guys that will take them back to the United States. Hey, the crazy thing is those two exist in country at the exact same time. You can find an old retired guy that can just help take care of you and your family and live out the rest of his days, drowning in some 18-year-old snatch, or the young guy who probably is having struggles dealing with American women and they want to follow the passport bro movement and find them a nice traditional young lady overseas that they can bring back and show off to their friends and shit. Pray she don't leave your ass. I mean, both of those exist in country at the exact same time. And you're right. Either or. I think if I was a Filipina, I would need to know exactly what it is that I need to accomplish or what it is I'm looking for. If I'm willing to be 20, 25, and I want to lay up with some old ass wrinkly dude, you already know what you need to do. If I'm looking for a young, strapping young fellow that can take me back to the United States so that I can work and help support my family, you know what you're looking for. Again, I'm not saying that you have to lock in on either one of those because, you could just very well come to the conclusion of what you need, whoever chooses to give you a chance, whether it be the older guy or the younger dude. I mean, it's either way. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you want to do. Because I told my wife, and she knows this shit. The beautiful thing about my relationship is I never lied to my wife when it came to what life was like in the United States. I never lied to her. I didn't sell her on no motherfucking dream. I did not do none of the I said, baby girl, life in the United States, with all due respect, although I love being an American, goddamn right, go USA, it sucks in the United States, man. Life here is not great. All we do is work. And she knows that. She sees it now. She been here long enough to see exactly what life is like in the United States. We work a lot. We hustle, right? It's day in and day out. Sometimes 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. It is what it is, but this is what life in the United States is like for the majority of Americans, right? We work. Most people work to make ends meet. Luckily, I'm blessed enough to, put a little bit away and, vacation and do shit like that. But that's not the reality for a lot of people. I try to tell her that. Is she on board? She knew it. She see it now. She like, life here sucks. All you do is work. I said, you goddamn right. She knew that. So I didn't sell her on a dream. Right? None of that bullshit. Like, no, you come here, we gonna work this thing out together. That's what we here to do. But if you're a Filipina and you're not looking to work or you don't want to work, then you might want to lay up with that old retired fellow that decides he want to come to the Philippines. Now, shout out to my retired veterans out there. Shout out to all of my retired military folk out there who get them a nice little pension. And, you might still be in relatively good shape, even though you might be in your 50s or your 60s or something like that. There are a lot of guys out there who really do take care of themselves or have opted not to be overweight or rotund or, old and rankly, so you might be able to get your pick of the litter too, because not only do you still have, you're relatively spry or you relatively, active in these streets, you could get you a nice little young lady and be able to live out, probably more than just a couple of years with her. It just depends. It just depends on how you take care of yourself, right? Depends on how early you choose to retire, man. Some guys choose to get out the game a little bit earlier than some. Sometimes people stay in a little bit longer than they need to because we always chasing that fucking dollar, man. That's our problem. As Americans, we're always chasing that last dollar. All of my brothers who need to retire, who have made all the money that they could possibly make, get the fuck out the game. Get out the rat race. I don't know where this is coming from, but God told me somebody need to hear this shit today. Get out the game. Stop chasing that last little dollar, man. Stop chasing that extra $1,000 or some shit that might be added to your pension because you work an extra year or extra 6 months or extra 3 months, man. If you've made some monies and you think and you know that you can feel and comfortably, live a decent life, it don't have to be perfect. It don't have to be lavish. But if you know you can live decent in your last years, chilling, and you've made enough, man, stop worrying about that last dollar, man, because you ain't going to never stop. Trust me. I see that in myself. That's the weird thing about it. I see it in myself. I'm always going to be chasing this bread. The wisest words anybody ever told me is life is like a sandwich, bitch, because no matter which way you turn it, the bread comes first. Something like that. I think that was a French Montana song. It was a lyric. I know I fucked it up, but that's basically the analogy. Life is like a sandwich. No matter which way you flip it, the bread comes first. And that's just who we are as individuals. Like, we just going to chase the dollar. If we can make a little bit of extra so that we can live, a little bit more comfortable, we gonna do that. But yo, if you're about to retire, bro, just stop. You're good, bro. If you've done enough, just stop. I'm still relatively young and I got a lot of working years ahead of me, and I'm gonna just do what I gotta do for the years that I choose to work. And then when I'm ready to go, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Just be done. Just be done with that shit. He said, Mrs. Doc, go watch the rerun. The wife just might. That's the one thing about my wife. I be talking shit like nobody's gonna watch this entire thing over again. Nobody we're gonna watch a whole hour long live. Watch her ass sit there and just watch from beginning to end. Doc come home from work tomorrow and I got some explaining to do. Nah, shit. Be like, baby girl, don't worry about my past. You my future. You my present, my future, boo. Don't worry about all that. Unfortunately, the Filipino rapper is going to be looked at as a hero for eliminating a foreigner, and the cons will treat him like a king while he awaits for his day in court. I see it. I know exactly where you're coming from, and I see that being a possibility as well. Right? I see that being the possibility. He said, Doc Mike, did you put her to work? Tell her to work. He said, did I put her to work? Tell her to work overtime. I don't want to talk about that particular aspect because we working on some shit. But there's some things that she's I don't want to. I was just say There's it's some things we working on behind the scenes and shit. But the wife put in some work, man. I'll put it to you like that. She puts in work. I am retired now for almost 2 years. I retired at 50. Congratulations. That seems to be a logical number to retire at. Fuck that 65 shit. I will put money into whatever it is, my IRA and all that shit. I will. I promise you that I will put money into it. Even if I'm retired or, got a little money on the side, I'll make sure I still contribute to my 401k and my Roth IRA and shit until, the actual age where I can draw from it. But nigga, I'm not waiting, bro. I have an investment account that I've been working on, piddling with and playing around with. I'm good, bro. I'm too old for that shit. Yeah, no, I'm not playing with that. You feel me? That's all I'm gonna say. My man said, financially independent, retire early, man. You probably just ate ramen noodles your whole life and put every dollar you had to your investments. That's the first thing I think about when I think about people on that fire shit. They just super downsize, super minimalize. And I do believe that it's all possible to do so. And I'm 100% on board with it. I do believe that it takes a level of dedication that a lot of people don't have. I do believe that the greater majority of people are in that particular moment wherein they feel as though I don't want to sacrifice anything right now for my future. Let's be real. We all want something right now. I'm blessed enough to be able to put myself in a position where if I need vacations, I ain't really got to ask, right? Y'all know that I am a public school teacher, man. So whenever them kids out of school, Doc's out of school too. I don't have to ask for that shit. So vacation-wise, I'm good. Now, the only thing I really have to worry about, not necessarily asking for time off, is, hey, making sure that I've done enough throughout the year. However, I choose to, play around with it to, make sure I got a little bit of money to be able to enjoy a decent vacation if I choose to do so, right? I often find myself struggling because I do want to take a vacation, but I also believe in investing. And I also believe in once I put money in my investment portfolio, I do not want to have to take it out. But there are people that I do listen to on YouTube that will tell me, yo, man, just put all your money in financial investing. And then whenever you need it or whenever you need to use it, just pull it out as you need. And I like the idea, but I'm just at that moment where I'm like, fuck, I do not want to pull it out. Once I put it in, right? I wanted to continue compounding and doing what it needs to do, which is, one of the things that I'm working on. But at the same time, I'm not really big on saving either because I want my money working for me, right? So although I do believe in high yield savings accounts and stuff like that, I do believe that to an extent, the money that I have sitting over there is not going to do enough for me to be satisfied with, even if I'm just putting that money to the side to save for a rainy day or to save for, the vacation that I want to take. I do believe that it's not doing enough work for me to feel satisfied with the money. That's where I struggle. That is the struggles of all struggles when it comes to me, man. That's what the good doc struggles with. But it is what it is, man. I make it work. He said that hamster wheel mentality, Doc. We always think we gonna miss them dollars. You know what it is, man. Man, we all working for that last little dollar, man. Struggling for that shit too. We out here busting our ass. You might be 65 already and you good to go, but you want that one more year, man, bro. Let me do another 5 years, man. You know how much money I can have to my retirement if I do that extra 5 years, man. I'm gonna be living it up, man. Look, if you ain't made enough yet at 65, pimping, something wrong. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. If you ain't made enough by 65, when you really need to be just sitting your ass down, I don't know what to tell you, pimp. I don't know what to tell you. My man says, I hope you invest so you can retire early, or you never thought about working a tech job overseas. Man, you know what's crazy? And I think I'm setting myself up for failure. It's not setting myself up for failure. It's not. Let me stop. I don't want to use those words because that's not right. But I never seen myself in a tech role, like a tech job role. I have, however, seen myself in tech sales, right? Coming from a marketing background and all that shit when I went to school, what I got a degree in and all that good jazz, I kind of looked into tech sales jobs as well. But as far as the tech job overseas, if I do get overseas, like I said, anything that'll have me working remote from home, I'm all for it. Because when I'm on vacation or when I'm working, I'll work when I need to work. But then when I'm off. That's the way to live for me, right? If I'm going to continue doing something overseas. But it's weird though, because I see all of these opportunities, cybersecurity, these tech jobs and shit, and everybody's swearing by tech. I really never thought of myself in a tech role. It's crazy. I could very well do well, like if I apply myself to it, but I never really put it in my mind to apply myself for it, which is why I feel like I might be setting myself up for failure. It's not that I probably can't do it. It's more or less that I never put the time, effort, and energy to try to put in the effort and energy to understand it. And that's where I feel like I might have fucked myself. But as far as investing, man, I do that shit all the time, bro. Started my investment journey back in March of 2020, right at the peak of CV19, bro. That was when I started investing, and I never looked back. Unfortunately, the 3 stocks that I did buy back then, I no longer own. I wish that I did, but back when I was just trying to figure it out, I'll tell you my first 3 investments: Microsoft, Coca-Cola, and it wasn't McDonald's. Was it McDonald's? It could have been McDonald's, but I know it was Coca-Cola, Microsoft, and I want to say it was McDonald's. Those were the 3 stocks that I first invested in. Right after that, I got into Uber, back when Uber was like $19, I believe, like somewhere around there, that 19, 17 range. Shout out to my brother Robert. It was joking, tongue in cheek, but I used to fuck with him because I was like, yeah, bro, I got Uber at 19. And I think at the time, if I remember correctly, I think he was probably averaging. I'm not trying to tell my man business for shit, but I think it might have been like 44, 45 or some shit, because that's where it was before it tanked, or that was where it was at before it kind of hit that skid. I was like, yeah, but I got it at 19. I fuck with it, but it was all fun and games, right? Because I've had some fucking investments that have gone tits up, right? Crazy. But yeah, that was I think that was my 4th one. And then my 5th one was BP, the gasoline. Cause I was like, yeah, man, gas gonna go up, bro. Or actually, I invested in it because gas went down. Cause that was when they were forcing people not to drive and not to go out. So people weren't driving. Gas was, dropping and tanking and shit. And I'm like, yo, it was still a dividend investing stock, BP, and I think it still is at this time. Had I held on to it, it's probably doing a whole lot better than it was when I had it. But I made a little chunk of change on it. When I say a little bit of change, I really legitimately mean a little bit of change, maybe a couple hundred at best. And I got out of it, right? I got out of it. So yeah, I think I had Stitch Fix at a time. I like Stitch Fix. I did. I got it at a relatively low price. It ended up going up over $100, but I ended up getting out of it at around $30 or maybe $50 or some shit. Sold myself pretty short. That was my first ever lesson in letting it go long term. But again, had I let it go long term, I think I would end up taking an L, because Stitch Fix ain't shit right now. But back then, when people weren't going out, I did get into Stitch Fix as well, because I'm like, yo, people gonna get people gonna start ordering their clothes online and shit. So they're gonna have the clothes delivered to them, since they can't go to the mall and shop for them anymore. So again, Doc was on it. Like, my mind was there. in those moments. And I wish that, we could have those moments back where, yo, man, I wish I would have put more money in this, that, and the other, that I'm holding right now. But I'm glad where I'm at right now. Invested in a good couple monthly paying dividend stocks. Those are the ones that are the heaviest in my portfolio, because I kind of want them to substitute my salary down the line. If you think about it, that's where my mind is, not so much in the innovative stocks. I do have one stock that I'm interested in, that I'm really fucking with, that I'm just throwing a little money at. It's an ETF as well. But outside of that, I got 2 dividend paying, monthly paying stocks that I funnel a lot of my bread into. That way it could probably substitute for a actual income for myself down the line, right? When I do move to the Philippines, I'll just draw from the money or the dividends that pay me out on a monthly basis on the 1st, and I think it's the 15th, or the end of the month. I'm sorry, about the 26th or the 27th, and again on the 15th. Robert knows what one of them is, because I always talk about it with it, because that's our favorite stock of all time. If you're not on it, you need to get on it. I'm not going to tell you what it is unless you ask me. But yeah, we're all about that one particular stock. It's a great fucking stock. It has never failed me yet, and it's weird, but I fucks with it. He says, now I just travel back and forth from the US to the Philippines, and also side trips to other countries. Congratulations, family. You are living the life that I think the majority of us want to live one day. Thank God that I still have a couple of more years before I'm 50, when I really have to start thinking about what I'm gonna try to do. Like I have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Investment wise, everybody's swearing on real estate, but I think that if I can make enough money through stocks and shit, I won't worry about real estate, even though I do know real estate's tax wise and all that shit is really dope. I listen to all the gurus that say real estate's where it's at, and I do believe in it, but I don't know enough about it. But I do know about these motherfucking stocks. And if I put enough money in, like I said, they're going to pay me as much as I need to support my lifestyle, when I'm overseas. So that's kind of the plan right now. But yo, man, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. September 19th, packing the family up and we leaving, bro, man. Damn. September 19th? Shit, I might need to make it to Vegas, or I'm going to see you in the Philippines, bro. One of the two. He said, you got to ask the wife now to go on vacation. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it, man. I got plans, man. Things are popping up. Y'all know what it is. You know what it is. Things are popping up. He says, Mike, does not want to pull out, so when a new baby coming. Boy, Mike ain't got a mic. I'm already a junior, if y'all didn't know that. So it'll be a third if I have one. Oh, you got out of I remember AT&T as well, man. I've been thinking about jumping back into AT&T, but it's just not for me. But Uber, man. I actually do not know what the price of Uber is today. I never checked. I think it's up though. I do believe. Overall, I think it's up. You know what it is, man. If you guys are on MAIN, that's the stock ticker symbol, MAIN. Look into it. Okay. I'm going to say it one more time. That is the only stock that I have ever invested in that I swear by. I don't know why. Like, I'm not an investment. Please don't look at me like you're an investment advisor. I'm not an advisor. I don't get paid to do any of this when I don't get paid to promote. I'm just telling you one stock that I believe in and I will always believe in. Even if all the other ones go tits up, I pray they don't. I got Apple and Google and all that other shit too, but that's not the point. This one right here, this is a bad motherfucker. Pays monthly dividends. A. B, sometimes every 3 months, they pay twice a month, typically. So you'll get 2 checks in the month of March. We got another one coming up, man, paying out 30 cents per share that we own. It averages out right now, I think, 24 cents a share. Pricing about $45, $46 a share right now. Bro, I swear by MAIN. I don't know why. That is my favorite stock of all time. That's why me and Robert connect, man. I think that's our probably favorite stock of all time. Apple's dope. Google's cool. Amazon's chill. But goddamn it, if you ain't on MAIN, I'm not a financial advisor. Just look into it yourself. Don't just buy it because I said it. But look at how they pay dividends. They've increased their dividends every year. Again, it's like what point? It's like a fraction of a penny. So I think it was 23 and a half, and now it's 24. It'll likely be 24 and a half next year. Then it might go up to 25, or maybe they might jump a full cent. It don't matter. Every single year for the last longest, it's increased their dividend payout every year. Every 3 months. You can go back and check the history. March, what comes next? Usually around June. What's 9? September, and then in December. They usually pay us twice a month. Again, March is already set, man. I got a little 30 cent coming, and they already paid out my 24 on the 15th. I just got that this weekend. Gang, gang. No, I'm sorry, last weekend. Anyways, I know I'm talking shit. I know I'm talking and I'm rambling about stocks, but again, nothing makes me happier than when I can talk about stocks, bro. I like investing. I'm sorry. Outside of this travel shit, man, you talk about stocks. Oh, I could be on this bitch all day, right? Cryptocurrency, to an extent. Shout out to Solana. I held Solana long enough. I had Solana down when it was 17, and I swear to God, I never thought it would bounce back. Guess what? It bounced back, and it bounced back with motherfucking aggression. So I was able to make a little bit of money off of that. I sold a bit early, but I'm cool with that. I sold partial of my shit around the 50. I sold another partial about the $100 mark. And then I think I ended up crapping out at about 120, and I should have held until it was 200, but I was okay because I had already made my money back, the first time I sold out. But anyway, never mind. Crypto was okay, but this is my stock right here. Anyway, let me stop talking shit. He said tech is the ultimate hamster wheel career because you're always updating your skill set. And if you update your skill set, chances are you're going to be in the industry for many, 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 many moons to come. I mean, I'm not saying that tech is going to be job secure because there's a lot of, AI coming out right now. And that's and I'm not saying that's deterring me at all. I just really never saw myself in a career in tech. I don't know why. I think that I really, that particular mindset could have very well screwed me. That's why I'm really honest about that. I mean, I could really be killing it. I don't know. It's just I never saw myself in a career in tech. But every time I update my skill set, that's going to put me in a new tax bracket for sure. Or, at least put me in a position to level up, get raises and or apply for positions wherein, I'm getting a price increase of about, or a pay increase of about 20%, 25%. Shout out to a big homie of mine who was in the tech field, and every time I turn around, he's getting certified in some shit. So that man's killing it. So big love to one of my big homies. He know who he is. I'll shout him out if I ever see him in the chat. But I got people who are in tech. My brother, what I'm saying, he's in the tech field as well. Maybe not to that extent, but he's in it as well. So I know people who are in it. It's just I never saw myself in that shit. And I think that's where I'm screwing myself because it really is the wave. But then again, depending on what your job is, if it's a job that AI can do better and for cheaper, 2 words, 3 words, no job security, right? So you got to do right, man. Got to do right. You asked me if I can teach in the Philippines. Now I can. Let me, okay. I can say it now. I feel safe to be able to say it now. Okay. So back when I was in school, many of you guys know that I got my education overseas. Good Doc was a product of the Philippine school system. That's where I got all of my degrees at, right? During that particular time, I was on a Section 9F visa, which was a student visa. That particular visa did not allow me to work, right? So technically, I could not hold down a job while I was under that visa. I did have a business. I did sell cosmetics. Shout out to my boo thing that I eventually married. My wife, her name was on that business. And I just did I got the POA or the power of attorney to be able to, access to do everything I needed to do with that business. She just signed all the paperwork and we kept it pushing. So I was able to, finesse my way around that one. Love her to death. But at the same time, I also did work a job in the Philippines. I don't want to talk about this one, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because I've mentioned it before in a video. You can find it many years ago. I made a video about me being a teacher at a school called, oh my God. Give me a second. I forgot the name of the school in Davao. Oh my God. I can tell you who runs the school, but let me oh, my bad. It was Jose Maria College. That was where I worked at. Jose Maria College. And many of you who are in the know probably know, or you don't know, that Jose Maria College is a college that is owned and ran by none other than the appointed son of God known as Apollo Kibeloy. I might be saying that wrong, but if you guys know who Pastor Apollo Kibeloy is, he's under some scrutiny right now because of some shit. That's all I'm gonna say, right? If you know who Pastor Apollo Kibeloy is, yeah, you know, right? But I used to work at a school. I had a homegirl that was in my master's degree program with me. She got me on. I worked the job. The pay was shit. Call it for what it is. The pay was garbage. And it's not the school. I just think it was just basically for that position. That was how much we're going to get paid. I mean, I'm still in school. I don't have any work experience. I'm still a college kid. So it's not like I can demand or, negotiate a salary or anything. And I didn't really care. It kept me busy, put a little bit of experience under my belt, right? So, yeah, I used to work there at Jose Maria College. I did that for a semester. It was cool. It was fun. It served its purpose. Gave me a little bit of teaching experience, things that I could actually put on my resume. Thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I did work there, but the pay wasn't great. Now, if I go back to the Philippines right now, I'm almost sure that I can work for my alma mater, the University of Mindanao. I'm pretty sure that if I go there and I talk to my professors, if any of them are still there, good doc could probably get put on very quick. Right. But again, we're talking about $600 maybe a month. And that's at the top end for let me stop. I might get paid a little bit more. At the time, I think it was 600, but that was 600 given the lack of experience that I had. So I might be able to get maybe finesse about $1,000 a month if I'm lucky. And that's not bad, right? You think about $1,000 a month play money just to, teach a couple of master's degree and doctorate degree classes. Foreigner on the motherfucking roster. You know how good that school looks, having a foreign teacher, come in for a semester every now and again, teach 1 or 2 classes. Oh yeah, I probably could now, but at the same time, I just know for a fact, and I just might, man, I might do it just to give back. If my financial situation is lit and I'm not giving a shit, I might just work just for the peanuts, man, just to give back to that school for putting me on and, providing me a decent education and giving your boys doctorate degree. I might just do that just because, now that I think about it. But, the Philippines is like a final destination type stop. And I kind of feel like when I'm there, I really just want to live. I just want to be comfortable. I just want to chill, not necessarily think about a work or a job or anything. But, we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, I do believe that now I could potentially teach. And I know that was long and drawn out, but I think it was worth it for me to talk about Mr. Kibeloy himself. Shout out to my man Smooth Wrist. Appreciate you coming through. If you guys haven't already dropped your like, make sure you do so. He said no money in teaching in the Philippines for sure as an American. That's exactly it. Lots of teachers in the Philippines are going to the U.S. for better paid teacher positions. STEM subjects are needed in the United States. Yes, sir. Even in my public school system, they're really pushing STEM. They're really pushing it. And at the school that I currently work at, I can tell you right now, there's five Filipino staff members. I think 2 in the science department, 2 in the math department, and 1 teaches ESL, English as a second language. So yeah, our Filipino teachers are coming randomly. How they end up in North Carolina, I don't fucking know, but they end up here. Or they just say yes to the first job that comes available. And again, I work at a Title I school. Not gonna lie to you, them kids are challenging as fuck, and they be giving them teachers that work. It's unfortunately, but it is what it is, man. They be out there giving these teachers a hard time sometimes, man. It's crazy, but yeah, there's no real money in teaching in the Philippines. Just truth, man. It's just the truth. Like I said, I could finesse maybe about $1,000 a month if I'm lucky. But at that time, it'll just be a way of giving back more so than it'll be like I'm gonna look at it like a salary. Hey man, don't you talk about that appointed son of God, boy. That man right there. I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh shit, my bad, y'all. I'm gonna tell you something. I want y'all to hear me when I say this. I want you to hear me when I say this because I don't necessarily agree with the politics. That's not me, right? But that man is the biggest and the bestest and the most well-spoken marketing genius I have ever seen in my life. Even though I may not agree with the politics, that's not who I am. I don't believe in none of that shit. That man's a genius. I have got to give respect where respect is due. That man is a marketing genius. I have never seen a person so good with his words in my motherfucking life. And I say this because every day that I was teaching, like every day I was teaching, like all the TVs and the monitors in the school was him talking or giving one of his speeches or giving one of his sermons or his lessons or whatever. It was on every TV. Right. It could be something that was streamed 2 days ago, 2 months ago, whatever. It was always on the screens. Right. And I just sat there during my break and I'm just listening. I said, yo, man, if I wasn't a strong-willed individual, this motherfucker might convince me to be a part of this shit. He was that good. If you sit there and listen to him for a period of time, he is very good with his words. And I got to give respect where respect is due. This man is a marketing genius. I want you to think about it. How many other people do you know? And I'm sure there's probably a few out there. You might say Joel or Ornstein, whatever you say. Again, let me not, get to the political aspect of it all or talk about the religion and whatnot. But how many other people do you know in the world that can convince people to give up their money, their resources, everything they have to this man and follow him in his ways? How many people do you know have the words to be able to do that? Right? And then there was a video a long time ago. This was an interview that he did, and he was walking around and he was doing an interview. He had a Rolex watch on, and I think the interviewer asked him about the Rolex watch. He was like, "You know what? God wanted me to have this watch." I swear to God, that's what he said. I was like, "Yo, this dude's something else." But again, if I was a weak-willed individual, man, I tell you, he could have got me too. Because he's very good with his words. And I mean no disrespect, man. Again, I don't deal with the politics. I respect them. I respect just the opportunity to be able to, teach at the school without, being a part of the program or, any of that shit, just given an opportunity. I was kind of scared, though, because I thought they were going to try to kidnap me or, like, brainwash me or some shit. Again, story of my life, man. Story of my motherfucking life. That's why I never talked about it. But I do appreciate the opportunity. First things first, it was a great opportunity to teach. And, I had 2 classes at the time, so I was only in there in the afternoon, 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it was just a quick little part-time gig just to give me a little bit of teaching experience. They gave me the opportunity. I took the classes, and it was awesome. So I never have anything bad to say about my man on that front. Again, I still believe he is a marketing genius. Again, listen to one sermon. Listen to the way this man talks. Tell me this man ain't gonna have these people. And it's not just the Philippines, man. He's got spots in Brazil. He's got some places in the United States where people rock with him. I mean, it's all over the place. So again, real recognize real, man, and that's a genius right there in his words, man. Some shit like that. He said the pastor also scored over 100 points in a basketball game. You damn right he did. I saw that video too, man. That man was dropping buckets. Nobody was guarding him, but still. I saw that video, man. Do not, under any circumstances, disrespect that man. Y'all better put some respect on Pastor Apollo Kibaloy's name, all right? I fuck with him in some aspects, just not on all aspects. That's what I will say. Again, I thank that brother for giving me a job. I wouldn't say it was him that gave me the job, but, gave me an opportunity to teach. That's why I could never really say anything bad about him, no matter, what people think about him. You know what I'm saying? Again, there are facets of my life that, I never really shared. Most of y'all never really watched that video. We got like 50 views like 5 years ago, I think, 4 years ago. But yeah. Yeah, man, I used to work at a school. That man said dropped 138 points in a basketball game. He did. I seen him draining threes. Nobody guarded him, but you know what it is. Yeah. I told you, man. He's kind of under some scrutiny now for some shit that he's being called out about. But yeah, leaving that aspect be. He said headed back to the Philippines again in June, trying to beat the rain. Yeah, I think September is gonna get a little nasty. Yep, Joel Osteen. I'm sorry, bro. I can't speak. I don't know, man. He's very good with his words too. Like, to be honest with you, like when I want to learn speech patterns, excuse me, how to talk, how to articulate, how to get my point across, how to sell a story rather than tell a story. These are the people I watch. You got to understand, these people are fucking fantastic with their words. I got to give respect where respect is due. Because if I was weak-willed and weak-minded, I promise you, they could have took me for all my shit too. All right? because these guys are good at convincing you of whatever it is you need to feel, whatever emptiness you're feeling in your life at the moment that catches you off guard and puts you in their path for whatever it may be. They know exactly how to clutch. Them motherfuckers clutch. So yeah, I give respect where respect is due. And the good pastor, he good with his words. I encourage you. Just watch one. I'm sure you can find one on YouTube. Listen to the way this man speaks to his people, the way he looks into the camera. Same with Joel Osteen. Just look at him. Look at the way they talk. Wow, look at the way they talk. That's funny. You know what I'm saying. And you'll understand where I'm coming from, right? I think you will. Like, if you hear their words and you look in their eyes, like when they're looking in the camera and shit, you're like, yo, this motherfucker's good. He's real good. I put respect, man. He said, did you ever meet the pastor in person? Yes, one time. One time only. There was a ceremony or something happening at the school. Yeah, man. Shook his hand. That's it. Went on about my business. But I want you to understand, man, that man got mad security around him, like 20 guards at all times. That motherfucker rolls deep. Just call it for what it is, man. Call it for what it is. But you got to understand, at the time, I was literally the only foreign teacher on the roster. So, of course, you want to meet the foreign teacher. And so they invited me to the ceremony. I just met him. It wasn't something that I was required to stay at, but the ceremony was at night, and my last class ended at night. And they were like, hey, when you finish teaching, come meet the pastor. Yeah, come meet the pastor. And I did. Shook that man's hand, looked that man right in the eyes. I said, this motherfucker's about something. I said, I need to get the hell up out of here, man. Why you think I only did a semester, man? If I would have went any longer, man, you would have had me up here in a fucking suit and tie talking about come join the, kingdom of Jesus Christ and shit. I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it's real, bro. Had I stayed there any longer, man, I'd have been under the thumb. You think I'm playing? And so somebody would have kidnapped me and brainwashed me. I swear. Nah, my dad and my brother would have came for me. Believe that shit. Believe that shit. But anyways, man, that's a long pass. Long storied pass. It was cool, though. It was weird, though, because I was taller than him, man. He's kind of short. With all due respect, though. He big in, like, aura. He's big in, like, theory and shit, but he might have been like 5'6". I'm 5'8". You know what I mean? It ain't shit. Don't mean nothing. That motherfucker still probably whooped my ass, him and his 1,000 guards and shit. I won't go try to fight the man. Anyways, yeah, don't drink the drink, man. I don't drink the Kool-Aid, Pippin. I'm good. I'm good, brother. No. I know. No. None of that. None of that. I'm just saying, though, in general, when you hear that man speak, he got words, Pippin. That's all I'm saying. If you're not careful, he got a lot of the Jim Jones-esque energy. I give you that for sure. He gonna take all of his members and move them to fucking South Africa again or some shit. I don't know, Johannesburg or some shit. I'm good, man. I'm gonna stay my ass right here. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I know, Pimpin'. I know. Again, Doc got stories for days, man. Some random shit that I never told anybody. If you ask, I will tell. But again, one thing I will never do. I will never say a bad word about the pastor. Okay? Again, I may not agree with everything, but I never have a bad thing to say about him. Why? Like I said, man, he gave me a job when I was looking to get some experience under my belt. And again, it may not be him, but I worked for his school. So I worked for him, and they put a little money in my pocket. It was a little. Believe you me, it was a little. I was part-time, and I won't get paid shit. But I was getting paid to do something at a time when technically I wasn't allowed to do it. So the fact that they worked around with me and gave me that experience and shit, never have a bad thing to say about him, ever. Granted, he on some shit now, he under investigation, but that's not nothing to do with, giving your boy a job. Ain't got shit to do with me. You feel me? Ain't got nothing to do with me. But ladies and gentlemen, we've been on too damn long, man. I appreciate y'all locking in, man. I know y'all got things to do. Everybody got to get up and go to work in the morning. Yours truly. I'm going to try to do live shows often. I'm going to try my best to come back and politic with you guys as best as I can. I miss this shit. You know what I'm saying? I do. I missed it a lot. And I appreciate those that have came through and locked in and said what's up to the big homie, little homie, whatever I am to you. Appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time this evening, because y'all could have been anywhere in the world doing anything you wanted to, but you have chosen to spend a little bit of time with the good doc. And for that, good doc will always be appreciative. Okay. So shout out to all my brethren who decided to show up. For those in the background, again, let me make sure I get back to this, because this is where the real work and the real miracles happen for a channel like mine that is so small. To those that sit in the background, right? To those of you who just listen to the smooth words of the good doc, you just here for the entertainment, here for the show, and just here to check me out. Or if you're stalking me for some reason because you're looking to get some bad evidence on me or put out an expose or whatever it may be, I don't know why, because I'm too damn small for that, and I do not be on here long enough or often enough to have any exposés put out on me. And if you do, they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is you talking about?" Hey, if you want to do me a favor and put my name out there in these streets so people to come watch me, I'd appreciate that. But anyways, for those of you in the background who just sit there and listen to the good doc because you just need a little bit of entertainment on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening, I thank you. I don't need everybody to participate in the chat. I appreciate those that do. Shout out to the gang. But at the same time, if you just there to support, just to listen in the background and just give the good doc a like, or, for the algorithm purposes, just sit down for about 5-10 minutes, just hear me politic and talk my shit, you guys mean more to the channel than you'll ever know. Because without y'all, this shit don't work. You don't always got to be active in these YouTube streets. You don't always got to be active in the chat. If you're there and you're rocking, I appreciate you. I know you're there. I see you without seeing you. And I want you to know you're special. And I want you to know the good doc got you. I want you to know that I fucks with you too. All right. And to the gang that always show up in the chat whenever the good doc come through, I know it's been a minute. For those that came through and, politic with me for a little bit, I appreciate it. Showing your boy a little bit of love, talk a little bit of shit, having good conversation. It's been a while, so it's good to be able to get back into it. And I promise not to leave y'all for longer the next time. I can't do that. I can't go back to that. That purgatory or that sabbatical I took was not nice, because I feel like I was missing out. FOMO, for real, for real. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, man, I rock with y'all. Love y'all more than anything in this world, more than you will ever know. But you know what time it is, man. Time for good doc to go and get to getting. Shout out to the gang, man. Appreciate y'all logging in. It's been a good doc. Y'all take care, man. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out. Peace.